Hey everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Apple's new products. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Alright, welcome back. Before we start this video, I want to make sure you like, subscribe. The more like subscribes you get, the more content we can make. The number one reason why you subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel is to get in the money-making trends before they go mainstream. So there's a lot to talk about Apple's new products. There are some good things, there are some bad things, and I just want to basically talk about, how you can manage your money specifically with devices. Now, one of the things that's a huge drain on your income is buying technology devices, because technology eventually goes obsolete, and it's not like buying something like a house. It's basically going to be worth less in the future. So the one thing I highly recommend you do is to buy the least amount of technology because, again, it's not really a good place to put your money. Having said that, you do need technology to survive. I have an Apple Watch. This is being recorded on an iPhone. I have an iMac, a PC, an iPad. Well, I have a lot of devices, but here's the thing. I make sure that I don't overbuy. The other thing is that I do run a business that I can write off a lot of these, if not most of these, as a business expense. And if you don't already own a business, then you should probably start one if you're looking to get ahead. So the newest iPhone isn't really that special. Remember, there was a time where every single year people would buy a new iPhone and that iPhone would have drastically new technology. This is no longer the case. I bought my iPhone maybe 2 years ago or a year ago, I can't honestly remember, but there's no reason to upgrade to the newest iPhone. Maybe I get slightly better pictures, maybe I get cinematic mode, but really there's just no reason to upgrade. If there was a reason, I would probably do it. Now, one of the things that I really dislike about the iPhone is the lack of USB-C, and I understand why Apple does it, but literally, let's just get a USB-C on the iPhone. And it's rumored that the next iPhone might not even have a port, which I definitely have extremely mixed feelings about, because I love plugging in my microphones with a hard cable because it's just a little bit more reliable. I really do hate Bluetooth, and if I have to do that, I'm really not gonna like it. I might have upgraded if there was a USB-C, but there isn't, so I'm not gonna upgrade. And this is what a lot of people are talking about now. Why should you upgrade when it's practically the same? Now, this role has been fairly lackluster. There's been a new watch, a new iPhone, but the biggest thing, in my opinion, is the new iPad mini. Now, I really do like the iPad mini. It is probably my favorite iPad size, and one of the things that Apple does, which I just don't get, is trying to make the iPad or the iPad Pro a workable device. And I really don't think, and I really don't like working on the iPad. I'm just gonna say it here. I know I'm in the minority, but doing work needs a computer, a keyboard, and a mouse, and it should be a fixed position, because guess what? You do your work in one spot and then you go play somewhere else. That's the way I like doing things, and I personally like this a lot better. Now, if I was doing a lot of work on the road, I would be buying a decked out MacBook Pro, but again, my studio would have a fixed computer. And this is what I really like about having a fixed computer, is that you go to one spot, that spot is for working, and other things are for play. Now, that's the whole point, in my opinion, of an iPad. The iPad is just for watching videos, maybe doing a bit of light work, or maybe jotting a note down here and there, but it's really just a screen. And that's the whole reason I like the iPad mini, is because it is a good screen that fits in most backpacks, that doesn't take up too much space. And guess what? It now has USB-C. Now, I know Apple is really trying to make the iPad a computer that you can do all of your work on, but it's just not there. And frankly, I don't think it's a good idea anywhere. Again, if you have the option to have a studio where you do work in one area, I think you'll be a lot more productive. I have an office. In fact, this room is for recording, and I have another room, which I'll probably show on the channel pretty soon. And that room is for working. I only do work there, and I only do videos here. I also have another room where I don't do any of the two things, and that thing is where I maybe watch movies or something else. So again, this year's lineup has been fairly lackluster, but then again, we just had a huge launch of the M1 chip, and I bet you there's going to be a really big surprise with the iMac Pro. And there might be some other Pro items coming out later this year, which I'm very much looking forward to. So perhaps this is the least important update from Apple that we've had this year, but there might be more in the future, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's another thing to unpack here. There was a lot of rumors about a new style design for the Apple Watch, and they turned out to be incorrect. And this is quite interesting because oftentimes you saw a lot of people talking about the same design, and you would assume that everybody is talking about it, so everybody's right, but in this case it wasn't. Now, I would perhaps venture a guess that that design is coming up in the future, maybe next year. But maybe next year I will update all of my devices with a new watch and a new phone if they have features that I really want. Now, one of the things I really want on my iPhone is to be able to zoom and not lose resolution. So right now, if you zoom in on your iPhone, well, it's just basically a pixelated version of that particular image. And you might as well just take an image and then zoom in later. But that's not how digital SLRs work. If you put a lens on that digital SLR, you can actually get a high-res version that's zoomed in. And I really want the iPhone to have this. As soon as they add that, I'll probably update my iPhone. As I've mentioned before, the iPhone is used for multiple purposes. And instead of buying a digital SLR camera for myself, I just buy an iPhone because the cameras are pretty good on the iPhone and everything automatically uploads to my iCloud, and then I can share those videos accordingly. So I bet you next year is the year that everything's going to be updated with Apple, and I really hope that that's the case because I'll probably need a new phone, and hopefully that new phone is really good and worthwhile the upgrade. Now, there's another thing to unpack here. I often talk about technology being too complex and too compartmentalized, and that's kind of a danger to society kind of collapsing. Now again, I referenced the Jonathan Blow talk where he talks about the Bronze Age collapse, and one of the things that Apple does is that it has its walled garden, and it's very hard to enter that walled garden, and it's part of the problem. Now, with Apple and Epic's lawsuit that has changed and the potential of right to repair on the horizon, I hope that this changes in the future. Because what I really want from Apple is a device that works all the time and that I can repair, well, basically everywhere. Now, I know that the way that Apple does things right now makes it very stable and very secure, but I think they're going just a little bit too far. If they could just kind of claw things back a little bit, I think that would be good. Again, my iMac is a lot more open than my iPhone and it works just fine. So I would like the openness of my iMac on my phone, and I think that would be a very good start. Now, of course, Apple's gonna be going kicking and screaming into this area, but I think it's going to happen eventually. And again, I think it's probably a good thing. So in conclusion, I'm really stoked for the iPad mini and I can't wait to get one. All right, so that concludes this video. I want to know your thoughts down below. What did you think of Apple's new release? As a developer, what do you think that is going to happen with the iOS development stream? I really want to know. Remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon, instead we sell our digital products down below. The more you get from the content that you buy below, the more content on this channel we can make. If you really like this channel, you can subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. We release 20-60 hours of fresh new content per month, every single month. We have monthly and yearly options. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much. Not only do you make this YouTube channel possible, you make my company possible. With your help, we're trying to get to 10,000 paid subscribers. If we can get there, we can release 200 to 300 hours of content every single month, and we can release a ton of EdTech videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.